Hello and welcome to the Nerds at Large Spoilercast for Doki Doki Literature Club. So happy about this. I am one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I am Jeff Mayo.
And we are joined today by a very special guest, my cousin, Hannah Hallman.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
Welcome, Hannah. Welcome to our madness.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited
so
to have
excited.
you here. I'm finally pulling the rest of my family into this madness that we do here.
So when's your mom gonna come talk about video games?
Oh gosh. What? Oh, I should get my mom to play Doki Doki Literature Club. It would be perfect.
Oh,
No, that would be a disaster.
It'd be hilarious.
I did tell my sister to, I did send her a stream and told her to watch it. I have no
In
clue.
between the crying babies?
Yeah, in between. She has twins, so we'll see. But
She's not getting to it.
No, she's not getting to it. I have no clue how she would react to that, though. Like, she plays some games, but definitely not any game like this, and it would be very interesting. But enough about my family.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's talk about. I got you to play Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yep.
I am so happy about that. You were
Just
already
in
playing
time.
it.
I'm so
but,
happy about this.
I guess we do start the spoilercast with like general spoiler-free section at the beginning. It'll probably be pretty short because
Just the way this game is.
the way this game is, there's not much to say without
Getting
spoiling
into it.
things. But on a surface level, should people play Doki Doki Literature Club?
Yes.
I agree.
Yep, it's free.
And
It
it's
is.
free. Yeah, it's absolutely free
It's
on
free.
Steam, by the way. I legitimately think Doki Doki Literature Club does like things that I have never seen before in a video game. With the way that it subverts your expectations, starts out as one thing with a dating sim, and then does a sharp left turn into lots of, I won't spoil things, but lots of weird stuff starts happening. Some like psychological horror type stuff starts happening. And it's really kind of revolutionary as far as like, a game doing this, a game being free doing this. And it was kind of like a phenomenon where it was like everyone was telling each other, just play this game and don't look at anything. And I thought it was a very interesting and unique experience. No, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely agree.
How did you find out about it? I don't think I actually asked you.
So I was looking through my YouTube list and I saw a very cute looking game and I saw somebody playing this very cute looking game, and I actually play a lot of dating sims like this.
Like
So I was-
real dating sims.
Yes.
Not the,
Well, not sure all of them would be real dating sims, but
like half a boyfriend, right?
yeah, like
Dating
Hot
pigeons.
Boyfriend.
That's a normal thing that
Yeah,
people do.
of course.
Like Corey in the House.
It's the best part.
Well, Korean House is the best anime of all
Yeah.
time.
It has the best dating sim
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
for the DS, I think.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw that, and then I started to watch somebody play it, and it just became background noise because it's very similar to other games that they start out the same kind of way. They're introducing you. You can't choose anybody on the first day while they introduce everybody, and it's something not super unique at the beginning.
No, yeah,
But-
it intentionally.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
almost like a bad dating sim,
Oh,
really,
it-
at the beginning.
It really is too.
Yeah.
They follow a lot of tropes that
Mm-hmm.
you really get lured into this dating sim.
I
area.
think
You
the
start
game wants you to
become part
get
of it.
bored.
Yeah.
Because it wants to catch you off guard. It wants you to be lulled into the sense of like, this game, when's it ever gonna anything's gonna happen? That's what
Yeah.
it wants you to do. What I think was interesting is when I actually talked to you, like before you got too far into it, and you actually, as far as I understand, you actually didn't know that it became what it did become.
I didn't. I thought it was gonna be like Hot Boyfriend, where
Right.
it's like each individual, each route, and I don't know how to keep going without saying too much. But
Yeah. I mean, in Helpful Boyfriend, the twist or whatever, because there is some crazy stuff in there, it's a little more subtle or a little more behind the
Well,
scenes.
and it's more per character.
Right.
You really go on a lot longer of a route before you get anywhere, and so that kind of makes the difference.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you have anything to say before we get into spoilers, or just anything about the act of playing this game, or or how I finally convinced you, because I did not expect Jeff to. I didn't think Jeff was ever going to play this game. He just texted me and said he beat it.
Yeah, beat it in one night, one sitting. I mean, can't really add more than you said about getting this. Spoilers, yeah, generic, bad dating sim, lots of tropes, like anime tropes for each one of the girls that I've seen a million times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna go into spoilers because not much to say. Just play this game. Do not look up anything if you haven't played it. Make sure you go out there.
Be mindful of the warnings at the beginning. Please be mindful of the warnings.
Take them seriously. There are warnings before the game about like if you have depressive tendencies or anxiety and stuff. And it is
very serious.
Yeah, it's serious. There are actually like could be triggers in here and stuff. Okay, with that being said, so now from this point onwards, make sure you have played or watched or something Doki Doki Literature Club.
You've been warned.
You have been warned. Okay, so as I said on the gaming podcast before, like I got a little bit after Sayori's hanging before I had to bail out and watch a stream because I was playing it at like 2 a.m. alone in the dark with headphones, and I'm a baby. So I know it scared Hannah. Did any of the scares get to you, or were you more just interested the whole time? And can you like scoot over just a little more this way just to get there?
I wasn't really scared. It's like, I was more curious where this is going.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything that really scared me. Like, I guess the big Sayori, I pronounce her name, twist or whatever, the anything that may have shocked people, like, I saw it coming a mile away.
Oh, okay.
I saw it coming, but it made me, like, as I started to see it coming, this is the part where the game had lulled me so far into a safe corner that I was thinking, oh, I know what's going to happen. I know what logically is going to happen next, but, it can't possibly, right? We can't. She won't actually kill herself, right?
Well, here's the thing about it, and I understand this, like what Darby kept on talking about. Oh, it starts with dating something, a twist. I kept going like, okay, I expect the twist. Especially since I kept on seeing stuff about certain times. So once I got to that time, like, I know something's coming.
Yeah.
And then it quickly got to the point where, like, okay, I know where this is going.
It does suck that because of that you saw it coming, but like I don't know how else I would have got you to play this game if I had just said it's a dating sim, play it. Like you would have never played it. You know,
like,
that's part of the.
Bruh, as far as dating sim goes, I'm just gonna see what Persona, man.
Yeah. Exactly. The thing about it, I did obviously. I don't know if I mean, like maybe somewhere in my mind I was thinking that Sayori might hang herself before then, especially when she was starting to have her like breakdowns and everything, and especially when we were going to her house and it was this long drawn out like I open the door, I go upstairs, and do all this. And it was like you had to click a bunch of times. I knew it was coming, but that music is what got me. When it like does the very loud noise and then it's the theme but distorted.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, I started to get to a point where I get nervous anytime that the music cuts off in the game.
Yeah, they use silence. They use the lack of music very well in this game too.
They really do, and they actually have a few parts of the beginning where there's no music, and that got me every time because I'd replay the game and I'd hear those, the stop in music and be like, is it going to be different this time? What's happening? What's going on? Even though I've played it like 3 different times, it still catches me.
They'd be talking and then there's like, do, 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 and then boom. There's just silence and they're staring at you. It's like, oh no. And then sometimes the music would start back up and you're like, oh god.
Yeah, it's like, and everything's fine.
Yeah. And also, the first like moment of unease I definitely had was like this game like does the subtle horror thing so well, and the straight in your face horror really well. But when you're talking to Monica and she's like, make sure to save your game every now and then, she's like, oh wait, what am I saying? I was like, oh god, oh no. It's like that's not good. That's not a good sign.
I took that as a cute little thing at first. Okay, whatever, and then I can't remember when I was like, okay, I know where this is going.
Yeah. Did you? I think I might have already asked you this, but were you like looking at the game files while you were playing? Like, did you see like the little things coming up in there?
Nope. The only time I looked at it was at the end with deleting Monica's character file.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's the only time I looked at it.
Oh.
I first opened the game files when Sayori was hung, and the top it was like had like dot text, whatever. It had like a file up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And like I remember I had heard vague things about the fact that the game files got messed with, so I was like, oh yeah, and I went and checked it, and from there on out, like as I was playing, while I was still playing before I'd switched to the stream, I was like kind of flipping back and forth between them, and as things happen, like little like messages will start coming up in there, or like things will start getting moved around and everything, and it's the fact that they use the game files as a horror like technique is kind of crazy to me.
So it goes to show this game can only work on PC.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if seeing the game files is 100% necessary up until like that very end.
No.
And I feel like there's a way that they could make it for like maybe mobile, but I'm not sure what you would have to do and the extra things. Like you might have to have like an extra menu in there so that you can have that, but that has always been my favorite trope in a horror game, is to be able to do something with files.
Yeah.
Because it brings me into the game so much, and I absolutely love that. And I was lucky enough that you told me that I should be looking at files before I'd gotten far enough in the game for them to do anything.
Right.
So I got to play the game where I had the files menu right here, and I had the game right here, and I was constantly going back and forth and looking at it and seeing the stuff that was being deleted and added as I played through for like really the first time. So
Right.
that added to the experience a lot.
Well, and just like there's something I've never had that kind of experience in the game where like just the feeling of like you flip over to the game file so many times and nothing changes, and something happens in the game, you flip over and there's another one, and just that sense of almost dread you have of like, oh god, I'm gonna click this and something bad's gonna happen. It was pretty great. I was trying to think of other things I wanted to say. I mean, we're just jumping around. We'll jump around like we always do in these Spoilercasts. I think in my opinion, one of the creepiest things was Yuri's, when Yuri kind of started going crazy, and just her whole like, I mean, it started out with when she just starts getting more and more like crazy. Her dialogue gets more and more obsessive and everything, and then it goes to that thing where you're just like looking into her eyes and her eyes are moving around. Like, oh god, that was so unsettling. And when she finally does stab herself, and like it took a while I was watching MatPat, it took them a while to realize it was going day and night.
I didn't.
There.
I actually, it took me 2 days to
Did you realize that at least?
Wait, what?
When Yuri does finally stab herself, that happened in your game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That happens in all of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. And whenever you have to skip.
It was
like going day, night. I mean, MatPat was sitting there like just clicking it for a while, thinking something was going to happen eventually, and then finally he hit skip.
Yeah. I did that. I was like, okay, I think I know. I think I know what's going to do. Skip. Like, okay, there we go.
See, I thought I had done something wrong and gotten her bad ending, because Yuri was the first person I went for.
Same.
Me too.
And so I thought that
we're all Yuri people.
Had to do with her and being on her route, and it actually took me a couple days to figure out that wasn't just it. So I actually replayed the game like quite a few times, going through her route to see if it would, like, if I could do something different, or if maybe I didn't do well enough in her poems. And then eventually I realized that the Have a Nice Weekend file is a tip that you're supposed to be waiting, and I hit skip, and then I left for dinner, and then eventually I came back and it was different. and something new happened. So.
I heard like stories of people after Sayori hung herself, they thought they did something wrong, so they started over, and then she hung herself again and started over, and eventually they realized, like, I think there is a way, isn't there, like some crazy way to keep her from hanging herself?
No, she hangs herself in every single one of them. But the way to get the true ending, before she hangs herself, you have to get all of the different
scenes.
The different scenes, and you go back and replay through the routes like 3 times, so you get everybody's different scenes and stuff, and but then she still hangs herself. You just have to make sure to restart and make sure you don't have it on the next game before you start getting everybody's scenes again.
Oh yeah.
Because it remembers that you saw all these scenes regardless of if you're playing on that route.
Also, can we just take a minute to notice Monica's... You really left her hanging there.
Yeah.
Like, God, Monica is so cold. She's just such a cold character. And then at the end, like, when you kind of like, or at least when I was watching it, it's like in some ways I felt bad for Monica, in other ways she's terrifying and everything. But then like she talks about like, yeah, Sayori was like trying to like save herself and like scratch it. I'm like, oh my god. Like, how long did you sit there? Like whenever at the end?
Too long. That's all I'll say.
Apparently she does start repeating herself eventually. It just takes forever.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently it takes a long
Well,
time.
I did a lot of quitting out of the game and coming back, and I loved getting to know her by quitting the game and coming back, because she was saying a bunch of new stuff, and she'd always be like, I understand that you have to leave me and
But it
close out the
hurts
game.
and all this stuff, yeah.
Eventually she's like, it's okay. As long I know that you'll keep coming back, so it's okay. And I'm like,
So creepy.
she has a lot of very like political opinions too.
Yeah, like some of it was actually like I was like, this is some real stuff, Monica. Like
Yeah.
this is some
Real talk.
for a self-aware video game character in a dating sim. You have some very detailed opinions on things. I don't know, like what else? Because it's not a very structured like narrative, but it's.
Well, I don't know about saying it's not very structured.
I mean, it's just like you can do like a
I
bunch
mean-
of different things in different orders and stuff, and it's just like things are just slowly unraveling. I'm just trying to think of plot points and stuff to go to,
yeah.
but what was I gonna say? So I guess you got the weird. From what I understand, I think no matter what girl you go with, they end up having some weird sexual thing involving fingers, like.
Right.
Having a finger in their mouth or something, or whatever it was with Yuri. I don't remember at this point. There's like weird sexual stuff in this game.
Oh yeah, there is. Everybody except Natsuki, which I'm a
Okay.
little upset that they didn't go into more detail about Natsuki. No matter what you do, even if you play through her route, you still get the same Yuri ending. No matter what, you get the same thing with Yuri.
Yeah, it was weird. It does seem like the game was pointing you towards Yuri a lot.
Yeah. And that was upsetting because whenever she goes to delete, Monica goes to delete Yuri, she just deletes Natsuki too.
Yeah.
So she doesn't you don't actually get to really know much about her, and there's like some stuff in there that's like, here's generally what's going on, and you're supposed to infer from it, but we don't get to really learn about her. So.
Right.
Yeah, I thought when the whole Yuri stuff was happening after the second go around, I thought it would be Natsuki would be in a similar position, not making it exactly the same to make it different for replayability, but
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely kind of skip over her more than the other. Which you watch Matt Pat's theory, right? If you haven't, like anyone listening, if you haven't watched the game theory for Doki Doki Literature Club, definitely like Matt Pat has a 2-part thing. It's very, very interesting how people like went into like the files for the characters, and you can like transfer some of them into pictures, and if you take the negative of that picture, you get this face, and if you put the face on a cone, it becomes something else. It's like it's crazy, but basically the Jordan just Darby off the top of his head. Remember, part of his theory is that all the girls come from a different game.
yeah.
That a game that is probably going to be released by this team, this developer next year, or at least just some part of that, because there's lots of teasing of it, and that's why they're like so smart and stuff in a dating sim. It's because they come from a more complicated game and all this, and it has to do with the book that Yuri had, where she talked about it's a very small, subtle thing, but it's really interesting. I didn't catch it until someone like pointed it out on YouTube. When she explains the plot of the book, like early on before Monica starts messing with her, she's just like, oh yes, this like kind of like fantasy horror book about this, when it's like this character is trying to do good and do all this other stuff, and then when Monica starts messing with her, she explains the same exact plot, but it's like way darker.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you see like their true thing of it. And basically his theory is that game, like that book, is the next game. That like, and that Yuri is actually like a character in there. Because like in the files, there's weird stuff about...
Your character actually does bring up a point where it said that Yuri reminds him of the
She was like,
protagonist of the book. And she's
what are you
like,
talking
oh,
about?
yeah,
Yeah,
kind
she
of
got very
not
defensive
great,
about
and,
it, yeah.
See, I'm not saying it sounds smart. I did find out the way she was acting a little weird with that one. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's a good catch. 'Cause I didn't catch that.
Yeah. I think it's also because I was expecting the twist, like she ended up being psycho, which obviously happened, but
Everyone ends up psycho.
yeah. But also in Matt Past thing was saying that Yuri is the bad guy and Monica's the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's his theory basically. That Monica's probably going to be the protagonist, or at least the good person. And then,
Well, I'm excited because I don't know anything about this possible coming up game, and I haven't listened to the theories at all.
and I mean, I'll definitely be all over that. And like, this game has been downloaded over 1 million times now. I think like they definitely have people's attention for sure. Even though it was free, like everyone's gonna know Team Salvado or whatever. Like they're gonna know. Oh, all you have to say is make yours a Doki Doki Literature Club.
See, this is like out PT. Like being a teaser thing for another game.
Yeah. Sorry, as I take a sip.
Because technically this is a teaser whatever thing for another game.
and it's this is a free teaser thing for something we'll probably buy, or maybe I don't know how they'll do it for the next one.
If they release it, I'm going to get it
I'll
regardless
get
of
it.
money value. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure I will play it and get my enjoyment of it, and then I'll look online for people who are smarter and more motivated than me who found a whole different meaning behind it. Which this also kind of Five Nights at Freddy as far as meta stuff, and just like, or at least I don't know enough about it. Like, obviously there's a lot more Five Nights at Freddy games, so there's...
Well, all the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff isn't like, it doesn't get meta.
Yeah, not meta.
It just is more lore for the game.
Right.
I like this, and it's different in the way that
it kind of combines lore and meta.
And it's more about you as, a person, and you using your computer and talking to you. Well, Five Nights at Freddy's doesn't really talk to you per se, but is trying to tell you the story.
Right.
I'm sure Matt Powell was like, something that I can really go into with that's not Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he was very happy about that. I have long since I can't keep up with all this Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. I'm
currently wearing Five Nights at Freddy's socks, so
I gotta see him. Oh, very nice.
I'm super into it. They released the 6th.
Can confirm.
Yeah, can confirm they were Five Nights at Freddy's socks.
Yeah.
Forgot what I was gonna say.
No.
Do you think we'll see more games like this, or more like other people, smaller teams, trying to do something to catch this type of buzz about a game in this fashion? I think this was brilliantly done. The fact that it was free. I got you and my roommate to play this game because there was no cost attached to it, and it was such a moment of just oh, this is crazy, and it was a shareable thing for you to give other people. And I would
no, go ahead.
You're fine. You can go ahead.
I was wondering, there are probably more stuff like this as far as the meta stuff goes. Probably there are plenty of those PC games, but this one's one that caught on.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, this will start a trend, and wondering if there will be a bunch of games that actually do it as well as this game, or it just seemed really forced.
Or just copycats.
Yeah.
I personally think that there's going to be more strange dating sims.
Yeah.
But we've had something similar before in the game I'm Scared, which I do suggest. It's kind of old at this point. I played it freshman year of high school for the library. I sat in the library and played this game, and it's meta. You have to go into the files, and it actually got really popular at the time, and quite a few games came out with similar vein. It was more pixelated, but it talked to you and through your computer, and did more file stuff, and then eventually it just kind of died off again as I think more console games came out that were by bigger people and less indie stuff. And I'm glad that it's coming back and that a lot of people have noticed it, because maybe we'll see more of it. But I have a feeling that people are going to try to do something specifically related to the dating sims because of that part that's in it.
Yeah. I'm hoping maybe people try other genres with it. I don't want someone to exactly copy what this was, because I also don't think there's kind of a limit to how many of these are going to blow up.
Yeah.
But I do I think that the act of doing it is very interesting, and the fact that this wasn't just one guy. They did have a team. I think it was a smaller team, but the fact that they had a team that did this and still put it out free. But I think it's just banking on probably whatever game they come out with next year.
I'm very curious, or and I might be wrong on this because Darby told me about this game not that long ago. it came out in September. I feel like after pretty much around the time Darby said something about it, that's when everyone started talking about it, like, so why did this game suddenly become what it is?
Yeah, like I would have assumed that it came out recently because I didn't hear about it until recently. I don't know if it was just a very slow build.
I think it was a slow build. I think because I actually, while I was playing this game, I had a little bit of deja vu in looking at these characters, and I feel like I've seen these characters before, and I don't know if it's just because I've played enough dating sims that these look enough like them that I'm thinking of those games. But I feel like I had seen these characters, and I've seen people talk about like these names, but I didn't really see much about it until a lot later. So.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I mean, it went from, it was a hard sell, and like, you had to, the only way this was going to spread was people playing it and then telling their friends to play it and stuff. Because, I mean, again, all the advertising and stuff for it, nothing gave away what it turned into. If you just look at it on the surface, it just looked like a dating sim. And God, I want to see the person who went into this completely not knowing it, like thinking it was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna have a nice dating sim.
Enjoy my dating sim because it's free. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I told my friend about it, and I didn't give her any spoilers. The only thing I told her was to look at the files, and sadly, her computer wouldn't run it right. It just crashed every couple minutes, and so I was so upset because she's the only person I know who didn't really know about the game, didn't realize it was horror, and really wanted to play it. So
apparently, when Alex and Olivia played it, apparently Alex's computer kept freezing in like the most terrifying parts. and apparently Olivia was very scared.
Yeah, my computer ran fine. I did notice like towards the end it ran a little slower. Like word letters and words started popping up a little slower.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Whenever you go through the game again, it resets your game settings. So if you make the text faster, when the game comes back up, it'll be slower again.
I can't remember if I messed with it all. I don't know.
That's
it also might
I've
be
noticed.
you have a pretty older computer. It might have just been that messing up.
Yeah, I kind of think good thing this thing doesn't seem to be very taxing.
No, it's crazy. I think it literally took like a minute, if that, to download. I think it was more like 30 seconds.
I actually re-downloaded it a couple times, and it was like super fast. So.
Yeah, you basically. Which I thought that was also crazy at the end when the game is deleting itself. Like Monica's deleting the whole game, and it's just showing all the files being deleted.
That gave me a heart attack.
That was crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and. It's also, I mean, like, and if anyone listening, if you haven't, like, try to go, like, mess around with the character files, because there are very interesting combinations you can do. Like, if you delete Monica immediately, something happens like that. Also, I'm interested because at that point, obviously, I was watching Matt Pat's stream. When Monica told you delete her, like, talking about Yuri, or at least that's the way at least Matt Pat, and when I was watching it seemed like she was talking about Yuri. They were like conflicted. Like Matt Pat wanted to delete Yuri, and I forget his wife's name. Stephanie didn't want to, and they like flipped the coin. Ended up not deleting her. Did either of you delete her at that point?
I did delete her. Actually, I think once I started to figure out how this game worked and like that kind of deal, I deleted her before Monica did.
So what happens?
Nothing. The character files, I don't believe, mean anything outside of flags. I think that if you refresh the game, you're playing start and you have this stuff deleted, it checks and sees what characters are there. And that's why no matter what you delete before the game, if you delete a character or any character, you get the same beginning where it's like, it's not all here and she freaks out and then hanging. I did mess around a little bit with that stuff. I was like, ooh.
I know it seems like there are some walls that you can actually hit. Like you can't just do anything.
I mean, which is fair considering.
Yeah.
The amount that you can do is kind of astounding.
It is amazing because I've actually used the program that they used to make it, Rimpy, which they use that to make a lot of dating sims, and it's free. And I've never seen any game that does that much checking and that much creating and messes with the files that much. I didn't even realize Rimpy had that ability to change up files.
I'm guessing they have to be doing some of their own things with it, but I mean, like, from everything they've said about it, I mean, it's like something they were like, yeah, you could go make this game. You could go make a game like this. Like, anyone listening, it's not like it was a big barrier to entry to make this. But, I mean, the amount when they, like, just mess with the menus and stuff, and, like, when you go, the craziest thing was the mouse, like, dragging up to Monica. I'm like, oh, that's so crazy.
That bugged me so much. I did get to click on all 3 of them. It does the same thing no matter which one you hit.
I think Matt they tried to like go up, and I think he hit Yuri, and it just came up with like Yuri's eyes, just the eyes.
It
there
does
or
that
whatever.
no matter who
Like,
you
yeah,
click.
yeah.
Because I clicked Natsuki.
Just
thinking it
Monica.
would
Just
help,
Monica.
but
Just Monica. Just Monica.
That part freaked me out so much. Just the eyes and the white screen.
It just seemed like it constantly had new ways. Like, it didn't reuse a lot of the things it did. It constantly had new things to freak you out.
And that I appreciate. And then,
like, nothing was off limits. Even the poem started getting messed up. It was
Oh,
like...
I love the poem that you have to make specifically for Monica.
Yes.
That part where you just, click Monica's name. Very lovely poem.
Yep.
Just for her.
It's great.
Just Monica.
Just Monica.
Just Monica.
Just Monica.
Yeah, that's the whole name. Monica.
Also, I think one of my favorite moments in the entire thing was Natsuki giving you the poem that was just like the help me note. I was like, oh crap.
Oh, that freaked me out so bad.
Just that like endlessly happy music playing over everything was just music was such a big part of this. It was.
The sound was amazing.
Yeah,
I was very happy with that.
Just the attention to detail is pretty insane in this game. Well, do you guys have any closing thoughts on Doki Doki Literature Club?
It's fantastic, and
It's a
everybody should play
fantastic,
it.
just such a great game. It's free. There's no reason not to play it.
Yeah, though odds are Airfields in this one haven't played it.
All right, people listening, get other people to play it. Like that's been part of the joy of me was getting other people to play it and seeing their reactions. It's so much fun.
I was impressed by how graphic it was. I didn't.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff where I knew where it was going, but I didn't think it would actually go there, and I liked that a lot. So
that was it. Even when it starts becoming psychological horror, you're like, sometimes you don't like, oh crap. But like when Yuri cutting herself and
you
Natsuki
really don't
when
think it's
her
gonna
head,
happen, and
they go there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One question real quick. I guess it ended the same way anyway. With Yuri, when she goes crazy at the end, right before she stabs herself, it asks, she confesses or whatever. Do you accept or not? What did you guys pick? And I guess how did it end up there? After that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They Matt Pat said
that part, yeah.
Matt Pat said said no.
Yeah, I said no too.
I did both of them. They both end the same way. She
Oh.
just laughs, and I think if you hit no, they hit no, didn't they?
They hit no.
She laughs differently. If you say yes, she gets really excited laughing. If you say no, she just kind of laughs and then stabs herself.
I'm gonna be honest. The stabbing animation just made me laugh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty.
It freaked me out though. Like I said, the minute the music just kind of stops or just does something different, and that's one of those points in which it did, and I was like, oh no, this is not good.
I mean, it's just always just the suspense of like what's exactly gonna happen. Because I mean, in the act of having to click to like progress everything, always made it worse too. 'Cause it's just like she's laughing, and then like yeah. But also Natsuki's eyes when she did that was also really freaky. But
yeah, I've learned that if you right click during like a scene like that, they just disappear. So yeah, if you right click normally in a dating sim game like this, it just takes the text away and all you have is the character in the background. But because of the animated scene, I guess that once you right click, the scene just goes away. So all you have is the background, so you can pretend like nothing's happening.
like nothing to see here. There's nothing bad happening here.
You can effectively censor this game if you really want to.
Interesting. Well, that is our thoughts on Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else.
Yeah. Well, I guess one thing, I appreciate all the stuff they did with Monica, kind of hinting at all the stuff she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they telegraphed that without completely giving it away.
Yeah,
I feel like it was like some kind of stuff where she's behind all this stuff like pretty quickly. I don't know if you guys caught. I probably did like after Sayori said she was depressed and everything, and she talked to Monica, talking to her, and she kind of hinted at that Monica said, "Kill yourself."
Oh yeah, that Monica.
Did you catch that?
Yeah,
I remember this.
Monica. It's implied that Monica told her that she should kill herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, well, Monica sucks.
Yeah.
And
Monica's
they
the
kept
worst.
on hinting at throughout the thing. Oh, well, it's obvious because it's a dating sim, and everyone likes the protagonist. That she liked you, and
Yeah, it played with the video game thing, dating sim, where they're like programmed to like you, but she's also self-aware. It's like, yeah, it played with that very well. And it basically just all the girls almost just had sliders that Monica could just turn up the crazy on.
Yeah.
And you gotta just see like slowly as Monica learns how to do everything. Also, I saw one interesting theory that someone said on YouTube that, Monica like says that she's learning how to play piano and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It apparently, if you go back, it at least seems like in this YouTube video, it seemed like all the moments when Monica is interfering with the characters, there's no piano in the soundtrack.
I did not
And when
know.
it's just normal dialogue, there is piano, so it's almost like she's the one playing piano, and then when she's messing with them, she's not. She's doing other things.
I think so because the song and it keeps on doing. She played the piano parts that's usually throughout the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like the same song just without piano, and that it kind of alternates between, and people are like wondering if that's
I
part of
didn't
it.
notice it. I know that whenever you share the different poems with the different girls, they each have their own theme version. Where like Natsuki's got a recorder in hers.
It's more like playful, and then
Yeah,
like
and it's supposed to replicate like the girl, her aesthetic or whatever.
yeah.
But I never noticed that. I'm gonna have to go back and
Yeah, I don't know if
figure
it's
that out.
it's not like even the guy doing the YouTube video said I don't know if it's completely true, but it's just something you notice.
Well, by the end of the first go around, Natsuki was tired of my poems.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not even reading this.
Yeah.
Me too. If you go for Yuri, Natsuki just hates you.
Yeah, well, apparently it does that. Like if you go for Natsuki, Yuri hates you, and then if you go for Yuri, Natsuki hates you. So you can only have one, and none of those choices can be Monica.
What if I just wanted to go for Monica from
Yeah.
the start? Like what the? Oh,
Yeah.
come on, man.
They should have that option in the game where the game is
I
completely
wonder
normal.
if there are like certain options of the poems you can pick that are Monica, even though it doesn't say it is. Like I don't know, but
I don't think so. There's one part in the game where you can pick words that Monica likes, and I don't know how that changes the game because there's it's a part where the game's getting more broken, and you can see her head jump up whenever you hit certain
Yeah.
words. So I don't know. I've never tried to fully do that. Did you get the part in the poem where if you click the weird text, it brings you to the white screen that's got just Yuri all messed up in the corner?
yeah, I think I've seen
Okay,
that.
sure.
I've seen that on YouTube.
Did not like that part. I hit that for the first time and was like, I wonder which character will like this random scramble of words, and none of them.
Just like before we get out, just like little things I've seen. Have you seen what happens if you're Twitch streaming? If you're Twitch streaming at the end, Monica will actually call out. She knows that you are. If you have to be using some like native Twitch thing or whatever, but like she'll be like, hey, so like I know you're recording the like people are watching this. She's like, that's not very nice of you, but to like for everyone to be watching me. But then she's like, oh, do you want to see a trick? It's really crazy because like she's like the thing starts like panning in on her face, and then it goes back out, and she's like, just kidding, I don't really know any trick. And then she like jumps out at you, like
Oh, wow.
she acts like she's not gonna scare you, and then she does that, and it's really funny. There's like something else also apparently if you like try to cheat, if you try to like add in a save file or do something, Monica will come up and be like, hey, you're trying to cheat. Like she'll know. It's cool. Little things like that. All right, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely check out all of our other stuff. We'll have a Last Jedi spoiler cast soon.
Spoiler, Dar doesn't like it.
Yeah, you'll hear more about that later. Maybe Will likes it. I hope he does, because that would be a more interesting discussion than us just both ragging on it the whole time. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, thanks you guys. And thank you, Hannah, for joining us.
You're welcome. I was
can't-
very
can't
excited
speak.
to talk about this game.
Oh, yeah. We will probably continue to talk about it later. All right, bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.